We'll give you a look at the starting grid. Jade Buford picked up his 5th pole of the year for Aston Martin, but as Calvin mentioned, Aston Martin still looking for its first victory of the year.
Well, massive field here once again, Bob. 55 cars are going to be taking the green flag here amongst the two classes. 2-hour, 30-minute race is going to be action-packed.
On to the front stretch they come. It really does look different as the field heads in a clockwise direction down across the famous yard of bricks, and we are underway at Indy.
Hugh Plum trying to use that BMW power to get his way around the outside of Jade Buford. He tucks in. Look at Nick Long here. Great start there. He's all the way up to 3rd spot from 7th on the grid.
And that's what I was talking about. There were
he's sideways.
Oh,
big moment there on cold tires.
Cold tires and maybe some help.
We should point out there is no testing for this race on this track, and the road course on the infield of the 2.5-mile oval is rarely used, so it is bound to be dusty and slippery.
Look at this. Looks like Joey Atterbury and Matt Bell going side by side there as Plum continues to put the pressure on, almost trading paint there with Jade Buford as these tires come up to temp.
And now here comes the street tuner class with their own separate start while the GS leaders make their way through the infield.
Very much today.
With 55 cars in the field, you're right, traffic is going to be around all day long.
Matt Bell trying to get away and angle a shot by Jade Buford in that Aston with his Camaro.
The Multimatic group this morning, they said, yes, we've got good qualifying pace. Jade has been doing a great job, but they said, you can look at it two ways. We feel we're either a little bit too heavy or not enough power. We struggle a bit down the end of these straightaways, and that really hurts us if we get a restart at the end of these races too. That's why we haven't seen that first win.
When Roush Mustang looking pretty racy, they were hindered in their first practice session when they were driving off onto the racetrack. They hit a little divot, if you will, and it pulled the front air dam, the spoiler off, and they had no front downforce for the first session.
Matt Bell got the power down really well.
Coming off, and that was the reason we are now under our first full course caution, under which Aston Martin brought in their 2 highest placed cars in the field.
There's a bit of a compromise with that team. They only have 2 refueling rigs and 2 crews for 4 cars, so sometimes someone's going to have to compromise a little bit with their strategy. We didn't see many of the others leaders come in, but Aston brought in their 2 lead cars rather than their 2 cars further back in the pack.
There's our it in their faces and hear it in their voices. Winning at Indy is special. Here's a look at the unofficial championship standings in GS.
Yeah, well, Longy and Plum rebound nicely for another top 5 finish, but Bell and Edwards had problems. You can see the points lead has got blown out a little bit now, 33 points.
And in